The daily grind. The sun had barely risen when Marcus Reynolds began his daily routine at Lily's Diner. The familiar scent of fresh coffee mingled with the buttery aroma of pancakes cooking on the grill, wrapping around him like a warm blanket. Each morning, the diner buzzed with the chatter of regulars, the clatter of plates, and the comforting sounds of sizzling food. For Marcus, this was more than just a job. It was a community. Marcus was a black man in his mid-30s, tall and broad-shouldered, with a warm smile that could brighten the gloomiest of days. He had been working at Lily's Diner for over a decade, honing his skills as a waiter and becoming a beloved figure among the patrons. Many of them knew him by name. Some even called him Marcus the Magnificent, a nickname he wore with pride and humor. He took pride in his work, serving breakfast and lunch with grace and a genuine heart. Every day, as the morning rush began, he moved behind the counter like a well-oiled machine. "Morning, Mrs. Henderson." "The usual," he greeted as an elderly woman settled into her favorite booth. "You know it, Marcus, and don't forget my extra side of bacon." She chuckled, her eyes sparkling with warmth. The laughter and camaraderie of the diner brought Marcus joy, but the reality of life often weighed heavily on him. After his shift, he would count his tips, anxiously wondering if he had made enough to cover his bills. Despite his hard work, it never seemed quite enough, and that morning was no different. As the rush slowed, Marcus slipped into the back room, away from the clamor of the diner. He pulled out a small envelope filled with bills and loose change, counting them quickly. His heart sank as he tallied the meager amount. It wasn't much, but every dollar counted when you were living paycheck to paycheck. He tucked the money away, his heart heavy with the burden of financial stress. While wiping down the counter, Marcus overheard a conversation between two of his coworkers, Jenna and Dave, who were chatting in the corner. "Did you hear Tommy got that assistant manager position?" Jenna said, her voice tinged with excitement. "Yeah, I heard. Good for him. He deserves it," Dave replied, glancing at Marcus as he spoke. "Marcus, you've been here longer than any of us. I think you should apply for it," Jenna added, her tone turning serious. Marcus chuckled softly, brushing off the compliment. "Nah, I'm good here. I like being a waiter. Less stress, you know." But the truth was, he had dreams. Dreams of pursuing culinary school one day, of becoming a chef, and creating his own recipes. Yet those dreams felt distant, overshadowed by the responsibilities of daily life. Just as he was lost in thought, the bell above the diner's door jingled, signaling the arrival of a new customer. A family of 4 walked in, a father, mother, and 2 young children. The parents looked weary, as if they had traveled a long distance. The father, a tall man with tousled hair, carried a sense of worry in his eyes, while the mother held her daughter close, comfort radiating from her presence. "Hey there, welcome to Lily's." Marcus greeted them with his trademark smile. "Table for 4. "Yes, please," the father replied, his voice low but grateful. As they settled into their booth, Marcus noticed the children glancing at the menu with wide eyes, clearly excited about the prospect of pancakes and syrup. The father exchanged a worried glance with the mother, and Marcus sensed the underlying tension in the family. "I'll give you a moment to look over the menu," Marcus said, retreating but keeping an eye on them. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Moments later, he returned to take their order. The kids were bouncing in their seats, and the mother smiled warmly at Marcus. "We'll have 2 orders of pancakes, 1 with extra syrup, and 1 scrambled egg," she said. "And for us, I think we'll have the breakfast special." "That sounds delicious." Marcus jotted down their order, noting the sparkle of joy in the children's eyes as they waited. "Coming right up," he said, and with a quick nod, he headed back to the kitchen. As the cook prepared their meals, Marcus found himself glancing back at the family. They looked so happy, and yet there was an undeniable shadow hanging over them. He wondered about their story, about the struggles they might be facing. It was easy to judge people based on appearances, But Marcus had learned long ago that everyone carried their own burdens. When he returned to their table with their meals, the children squealed with delight. "Yay! Pancakes!" the little boy exclaimed, reaching for his fork. The father's expression softened as he watched his kids, momentarily lost in their joy. "Everything looks great," the mother said, her smile warm as she thanked him. As they enjoyed their meal, Marcus couldn't help but notice the way the family interacted. They shared laughter, playful banter, and moments of tenderness that spoke of a close-knit bond. Yet as the meal went on, the father's worry returned, and he seemed distracted. Marcus felt a tug at his heartstrings, and without thinking, he made a decision. "Excuse me for a moment," he said, his heart racing. He approached the family's table with an air of confidence that masked the uncertainty bubbling inside. "I just wanted to say that your meal is on me today," he offered, hoping his gesture would bring them some relief. The father looked taken aback, his eyes widening in disbelief. "No, we couldn't possibly." "Please," Marcus insisted, his voice gentle but firm. "I can't let you leave without something to eat. I see you all enjoying each other's company, and that's what matters." The mother's expression shifted from surprise to gratitude, and she reached out to squeeze her husband's hand. "Thank you. That's incredibly kind of you," she said, her voice full of emotion. Marcus smiled back at them, feeling a warmth in his chest as the children giggled at their plates, oblivious to the exchange happening between the adults. After finishing their meal, the family left the diner, their spirits lifted. Marcus wiped down the table, a sense of fulfillment washing over him. It was a small act, but it had brought a moment of joy to that family, and that's what mattered most. Later that evening, as Marcus sat down to review his earnings, he couldn't help but smile at the memory of that family. He had given them a meal, but they had given him something too, a reminder of the power of kindness and connection. Little did he know, the real surprise was yet to come. Unexpected gratitude. The next day at Lily's diner began like any other, with the sun rising lazily over the horizon, casting a golden glow on the streets. Marcus arrived early, brewing a fresh pot of coffee and prepping for the day ahead. As he wiped down the counter, he couldn't shake off the memory of the family he had treated the day before. Their grateful smiles lingered in his mind, igniting a warmth that made him feel good about his choice to help them. The morning rush began, bringing with it a familiar chaos. The sound of clanging dishes, sizzling eggs, and the chatter of patrons. Marcus maneuvered through the crowd with ease, serving regulars and newcomers alike. He felt like a conductor leading a symphony, orchestrating the flow of customers and ensuring everyone was taken care of. Amidst the hustle and bustle, the door swung open, and in walked the same family he had served the day before. The father, still looking slightly disheveled, but with a hopeful glint in his eye, stepped forward, the mother right behind him, her hand firmly clasping the little girl's. The boy was a few steps ahead, his face lighting up at the sight of Marcus. "Hey there, you're back," Marcus exclaimed, feeling a rush of joy. "I hope you enjoyed the pancakes." The father approached the counter, his expression a mixture of surprise and gratitude. "We did, thank you," he replied, his voice steady yet filled with emotion. "But we came back for a different reason." "Oh." Marcus raised an eyebrow, intrigued. The mother spoke up, her voice soft yet resolute. "We wanted to thank you properly. You didn't just give us a meal yesterday. You gave us hope. We've been going through a tough time, and your kindness reminded us that there's still goodness in the world." Before Marcus could respond, the father reached into his pocket and pulled out a neatly folded piece of paper. "This is for you," he said, handing it to Marcus with a serious expression. Curiosity piqued, Marcus unfolded the paper to find a crisp $100 bill nestled inside. His heart skipped a beat. "I can't accept this," he stammered, his instincts urging him to refuse. "I only wanted to help." The father shook his head, his eyes earnest. "You deserve it. You didn't know it, but we were struggling financially, and that meal gave us a moment to breathe. We could barely afford to eat, and your kindness meant the world to us. We want to pay it forward." Tears pricked at Marcus's eyes, and he felt a lump in his throat. He had always believed in the power of small acts of kindness, but this moment was something else entirely. "I didn't do it for the money," he said, feeling the weight of the moment. "I just wanted to bring some joy to your day." "And you did," the mother chimed in, her voice wavering slightly. "We'll never forget it. Thank you." As they spoke, Marcus glanced at the children, who were animatedly chatting about their favorite foods. Their laughter rang through the diner, a beautiful sound that painted the atmosphere with happiness. At that moment, he realized that kindness could create ripples, touching lives in ways that might never be fully understood. The family settled into a booth, and Marcus took their order, his heart brimming with warmth. As he delivered their meals, he found himself smiling genuinely, feeling the weight of his own struggles lift, if only for a moment. The rest of the day unfolded in a blur of busy moments and warm interactions. The diner was filled with laughter, and each time Marcus passed the family's booth, they exchanged glances filled with understanding and appreciation. When their meal was done, the children eagerly awaited dessert, and the father turned to Marcus, who was passing by. "Can we have a slice of your famous chocolate cake?" he asked, his eyes bright with excitement. "Of course," Marcus beamed, feeling a surge of happiness at their enthusiasm. "Coming right up." As he made his way to the kitchen, he couldn't help but think about the impact that one small gesture had created. The diner felt different that day, buzzing with an energy that was infectious. It was as if the family's visit had awakened something within the other patrons as well. Soon, word spread about the family's encounter with Marcus, and other customers began to share their own stories of kindness. A woman in a corner booth spoke up about how she once helped a stranded motorist. A young couple shared how they had once anonymously paid for someone's groceries. It was a chain reaction of goodwill, and it invigorated Marcus in a way he hadn't expected. As the lunch rush tapered off, the family got ready to leave. The father approached Marcus one last time, his expression serious. "We know times are tough for everyone right now," he began, a hint of determination in his voice. "We want to do something special for you. We've started a small community project to help those in need. Would you consider joining us?" Marcus felt a rush of surprise and excitement. "I'd love to help," he replied, his heart racing. "What do you have in mind?" The mother chimed in. "We're organizing a community dinner next week. We want to provide meals for those struggling in our area, just like you did for us. We could use all the help we can get." Marcus's heart swelled at the thought. It was a beautiful initiative, and he felt honored to be a part of it. "Count me in. I'll bring dessert, and I can help with anything else you need," he said, determination bubbling within him. As the family thanked him once more, Marcus felt a profound sense of connection. They exchanged phone numbers, promising to stay in touch, and just like that, an unexpected friendship blossomed. Later that evening, as Marcus closed the diner, he reflected on the day. The $100 bill sat tucked away in his wallet, but it felt insignificant compared to the experiences he had gained. The laughter of the children, the gratitude from the parents, and the idea of working together for a greater cause filled him with purpose. He realized that kindness, no matter how small, could create waves of change in the world. And in that moment, Marcus knew he wanted to be a part of something bigger, something that spread love and compassion throughout his community. As he walked home, the streets aglow with the setting sun, he felt hopeful about the future. Little did he know, this was just the beginning of a journey that would lead him to unexpected places, testing the limits of his kindness and resilience. Seeds of change. The following week unfolded like a blossoming flower, each day bringing new energy and excitement as Marcus prepared for the community dinner. The family he had helped, the Andersons, had quickly become friends. They had met several times to discuss their plans, pooling resources and ideas to ensure the event would be a success. Each meeting deepened their bond, transforming strangers into allies united by a shared vision. As Marcus looked through his supplies at home, he mentally listed the ingredients he would need for the dessert he planned to bring. His mother had passed down her secret chocolate cake recipe, and he had been perfecting it for years. The thought of sharing it with the community made his heart swell with pride. It wasn't just about feeding people, it was about creating a sense of belonging and warmth. On the day of the dinner, Marcus woke up early, excitement buzzing through him like electricity. He carefully measured out flour, cocoa powder, and sugar, remembering how his mother used to hum while baking, her voice soft and comforting. The aroma of melting chocolate filled the kitchen as he mixed the ingredients, and memories of childhood flooded back. Birthday parties, family gatherings, and celebrations of all kinds. Each bite of the cake he made would carry those memories forward, offering warmth and comfort to others. After spending the morning baking, he packed the cake carefully into a sturdy box, ensuring it wouldn't shift during transport. The Andersons had rented out a community hall, a spacious venue decorated with colorful streamers and handmade signs welcoming everyone. As Marcus arrived, he was greeted by the sight of families setting up tables, arranging chairs, and chatting excitedly. The energy in the room was palpable, and he felt a surge of anticipation. "Marcus, you made it," Emily Anderson, the mother, called out, her face lighting up as she spotted him. She was busy overseeing the preparations, her dark hair pulled back into a neat bun. "Wouldn't miss it for the world," he replied, grinning as he held up the cake. "I hope you're ready for a chocolate explosion." "Absolutely," she laughed. "We're so grateful for your help. This wouldn't be possible without your support." As they set up, Marcus noticed a mix of people arriving, families with children, elderly couples, and even some young adults. There was a sense of unity in the air, as if everyone understood the importance of what they were doing. Marcus felt a deep connection with the people around him, and it warmed his heart to see so many faces coming together for a common cause. Once everything was set, the aroma of various dishes began to fill the hall as volunteers brought in casseroles, salads, and desserts. There was laughter and chatter, and Marcus could see the anticipation building. This wasn't just a dinner, it was a celebration of community spirit, of kindness, and of hope. As the clock struck 6, Emily stood up to address the crowd. Her voice rang out clearly, and the room quieted, all eyes turning toward her. "Thank you all for coming tonight. We're here to share a meal, but more importantly, we're here to share our stories and our love. Everyone deserves a seat at the table, and tonight we open our doors to those in need." Applause erupted, and Marcus felt a lump in his throat as he watched the families around him. The energy in the room shifted. It was a moment of true connection. They weren't just gathering to eat, they were creating a network of support that would extend beyond this evening. After Emily's heartfelt speech, the serving began. Marcus found himself busy serving food, making sure everyone felt welcomed. He moved from table to table, listening to the stories of those he served. Each person shared their own struggles, their own journeys, and it became clear to Marcus that they all had something in common. They were searching for a sense of belonging. He found himself at a table with a young mother named Sarah and her 2 kids. The children were shy at first, but quickly opened up as they chatted about their favorite foods. Sarah shared her story of losing her job and how she was trying to make ends meet. "It's tough, but I'm doing my best for them," she said, her eyes glistening with determination. "I never thought I'd find myself in this situation, but I believe things will get better. Just remember, you're not alone," Marcus replied, offering her an encouraging smile. "There's a community here that cares." As the evening progressed, the tables filled with laughter and chatter, and the once quiet hall transformed into a bustling hub of connection. When it was time for dessert, Marcus unveiled his chocolate cake, the glossy frosting gleaming under the soft lights. "Who's ready for some cake?" he called out, and cheers erupted from the crowd. The cake was cut into generous slices, and as people took their first bites, their eyes lit up with delight. "This is amazing. one of the children exclaimed, and Marcus felt a swell of pride at their reaction. As he continued to serve, he noticed the Andersons moving through the crowd, checking in with families, listening to their stories, and offering support. Their dedication to creating a better environment for those in need was infectious, and Marcus felt a strong sense of purpose alongside them. As the evening wore on, he found himself standing with the Andersons, surveying the scene. The hall was filled with smiles, and the warmth of community enveloped them. "Look at this," Emily said, her voice filled with wonder. "This is what we wanted, people coming together, sharing love, and supporting each other. It's beautiful." "Absolutely," Marcus agreed, feeling a sense of fulfillment wash over him. "This is just the beginning, isn't it?" The father, Mark Anderson, nodded. "We're planning to make this a monthly event. We want to create a safe space for everyone to come together, share meals, and find support." Marcus's heart raced at the thought. "I'd love to be involved in any way I can," he said earnestly. "This means so much to me." The night ended with heartfelt goodbyes and promises to stay in touch. As Marcus packed up his things, he felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey he had embarked upon. He had come into this endeavor hoping to make a difference in others' lives, yet he had gained so much more: friendship, community, and a renewed sense of purpose. As he walked home, the night air crisp and clear, he reflected on how a simple act of kindness had set off a chain reaction. His heart swelled with joy, knowing that he had contributed to something greater than himself. This community dinner was just the first step in a larger mission to bring people together, to foster love and understanding. Little did Marcus know, the impact of this evening would extend far beyond the confines of the hall, reaching into the hearts of those who participated and setting the stage for even more significant changes in the days to come. Uniting for a greater purpose. In the weeks that followed the community dinner, Marcus found himself more deeply intertwined with the Andersons and the other families in the neighborhood. Each Saturday morning, they met at a local park to plan their next community outreach initiatives. What had begun as a single dinner blossomed into a vibrant network of support, love, and shared purpose. One crisp Saturday morning, as golden leaves fluttered to the ground, Marcus arrived at the park to find Emily setting up a small booth with flyers and sign-up sheets. "Good morning, Marcus," she greeted him with a bright smile. "We're trying to get the word out about our next event, a clothing drive for families in need." "I love it. We can set up donation bins at the diner," he suggested, his mind racing with ideas. "We could even offer a free coffee for anyone who donates." Emily's eyes lit up. "That's a fantastic idea. I knew I could count on you." As they began organizing the drive, word spread quickly throughout the community. Families started donating gently used clothing, shoes, and even toys for the upcoming event. Each Saturday became a mini celebration, with neighbors coming together to contribute, share stories, and enjoy a sense of camaraderie. One particular Saturday, as they sorted through the donated items, a local teenager named Jason approached Marcus. He was a tall, lanky kid with a shy demeanor and a skateboard tucked under his arm. "Hey, Mr. Marcus," he said, glancing around nervously. "I heard about the clothing drive. Can I help?" "Of course. We'd love your help, Jason," Marcus replied, smiling. "Every pair of hands makes a difference." Jason's face brightened as he jumped in to assist, quickly sorting through items and sharing jokes with Marcus and the others. As they worked, Jason revealed more about his life. He shared how his family had fallen on hard times after his father lost his job, and they were struggling to keep up with bills. "I've been trying to do my part, you know," Jason said, shrugging. "But it's tough sometimes." Marcus nodded, empathy coursing through him. "I know it can be hard, but you're doing a great job just by being here and helping. Every little bit counts." Their conversation deepened over the following weeks, and Marcus became a mentor to Jason, offering guidance and support. The teenager found a sense of purpose in their community efforts, and Marcus admired his dedication and spirit. Meanwhile, the Andersons were busy preparing for the upcoming clothing drive event. They had partnered with a local charity to ensure that all donations would reach families in need. On the day of the event, the park was transformed into a bustling marketplace, filled with vibrant colors and joyful laughter. Families came together, browsing through donated items and picking out clothes that would bring warmth to their homes. As Marcus looked around, he felt a profound sense of gratitude. He was amazed at how far they had come since that first community dinner. It was not just about providing meals anymore. It was about uplifting an entire community, empowering individuals, and fostering connections that transcended socioeconomic barriers. The day was filled with smiles and laughter, but it also brought challenges. A sudden downpour threatened to wash away their hard work. As dark clouds rolled in, panic rippled through the crowd, but Marcus quickly stepped up. "We can move everything under the pavilion," he shouted, rallying the volunteers to help. With teamwork and determination, they successfully relocated the tables and bins, ensuring everyone remained dry. The sense of urgency sparked a burst of energy, and soon, laughter returned, echoing off the walls of the pavilion as people continued to browse through the clothing. When the rain finally subsided, a rainbow arched across the sky, illuminating the park and providing a stunning backdrop to the event. Marcus stood back, watching families leave with bags of clothing and smiles on their faces, and he felt a warmth in his chest. It was a day that would be remembered, a testament to what could be achieved when people united for a common cause. Later that evening, after the event wrapped up, Marcus received a text from Emily. "Let's meet at the diner. I have an idea I want to discuss." Intrigued, he headed over, excited to hear her proposal. At the diner, Emily was animated, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "I think we should organize a community talent show. It could be a way to showcase local talents and raise funds for future outreach programs." Marcus's heart raced at the thought. "That's brilliant. We could charge a small entry fee and maybe set up a donation box as well. Plus, it'll give everyone a chance to come together and have some fun." They brainstormed ideas for the talent show, discussing everything from performers to logistics. The more they talked, the more inspired Marcus felt. It was an opportunity to celebrate the community, to shine a light on the talents that often went unnoticed. As the weeks went by, word spread about the talent show, and the community rallied together to create something truly special. Flyers adorned lampposts and storefronts, announcing the event. Local musicians, dancers, and artists signed up to perform, and the anticipation in the air was electric. On the night of the talent show, the community center was filled to capacity, laughter and chatter echoing off the walls. Families gathered, children excitedly clutching homemade signs to cheer on their loved ones. Marcus felt the energy buzz around him, and he couldn't help but smile as he greeted familiar faces, exchanging words of encouragement and excitement. As the show began, Marcus took a moment to step back and take it all in. The stage was adorned with colorful decorations, and the spotlight illuminated the performers as they showcased their talents. A young girl sang a soulful rendition of a popular song, while a local band played upbeat tunes that had everyone tapping their feet. There were jugglers, dancers, and even a stand-up comedian who had the audience roaring with laughter. Marcus felt a profound sense of belonging and community as he watched the performances. It was a celebration of their shared experiences and struggles, a reminder that even in challenging times, they could find joy together. Halfway through the show, the Andersons took the stage, and Emily spoke passionately about their mission to uplift the community. "Thank you all for being here tonight. Your support means the world to us. And together, we can continue making the difference in the lives of those who need it most," she declared, her voice ringing with sincerity. As the night continued, the energy only grew stronger. The audience cheered and applauded each act, creating an atmosphere filled with warmth and connection. After the final performance, the audience erupted into a standing ovation, and Marcus felt tears prick at his eyes. The talent show was more than just entertainment. It was a testament to resilience, creativity, and the human spirit. Together, they had woven a tapestry of support that extended beyond their individual struggles. As the night came to a close, Marcus and the Andersons collected donations and thanked the performers and attendees for their contributions. The evening was a resounding success, raising enough funds to support their upcoming outreach initiatives for months to come. Later, as Marcus walked home under the starry sky, he reflected on how far he had come. The journey had started with a single act of kindness, which had ignited a flame of community spirit that was impossible to extinguish. He realized that they were creating something beautiful together, a community that valued love, support, and resilience. And he knew, deep down, that this was just the beginning of an incredible journey that would continue to unfold, impacting lives in ways they could only imagine. Blossoming friendships. The weeks that followed the talent show were filled with renewed energy and hope for the community. With the funds raised, the Andersons and Marcus immediately set to work planning their next outreach initiative, a community health fair. They envisioned a day where families could access vital health services, resources, and information, all for free. As they gathered in the park one sunny afternoon, Emily laid out their plans on a picnic table. "I want this health fair to be comprehensive," she said, her brow furrowed in concentration. "We should have booths for free checkups, nutrition workshops, and even mental health resources." "Absolutely. I can reach out to local clinics and health professionals," Marcus replied, eager to contribute. "We can also invite fitness instructors to lead some fun classes." Mark, Emily's husband, chimed in. "Let's not forget about food. Healthy snacks and meals will make a huge difference for families coming out." Marcus felt a surge of excitement as they began to brainstorm ideas, envisioning the health fair as not just an event, but a festival of well-being and community connection. They worked tirelessly in the weeks leading up to the fair, securing partnerships with local health organizations, inviting speakers, and rallying volunteers. On the day of the health fair, the park transformed into a vibrant hub of activity. Colorful banners fluttered in the gentle breeze, and tables filled with pamphlets and health resources lined the paths. Families arrived early, drawn in by the promise of free health services, but what unfolded was far more than that. Marcus welcomed families as they entered, guiding them to various booths. A local doctor offered free checkups, while a nutritionist provided tips for healthy meal planning. Nearby, fitness instructors led lively Zumba classes, filling the air with infectious energy. Laughter and joy surrounded them as children danced and played, and parents engaged in meaningful conversations. As Marcus helped set up a booth for mental health resources, he noticed Jason approaching with a determined look. "Hey, Marcus. I've been thinking," he started, scratching the back of his neck nervously. "I want to help out more. Maybe I could do some fitness demonstrations or talk to kids about staying active." Marcus felt a rush of pride for the young man. "That's a great idea, Jason. You have so much energy, and the kids will love it. Let's set up a mini obstacle course for them to try out." Jason's face lit up, and he immediately began rallying other teens to help. Soon, the park was alive with kids running through the course, laughing and cheering each other on. It was a heartwarming sight, showcasing the joy and unity within the community. As the day progressed, families flocked to the booths, engaging with health professionals and discovering new resources they never knew existed. Marcus walked around, taking in the sights and sounds. He felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment, knowing they were making a tangible difference in people's lives. In the afternoon, Emily gathered everyone together for a group photo. "This is what community looks like," she announced, her voice filled with pride. "We're stronger together, and today we've made a huge impact." The event wrapped up with a closing ceremony, where they highlighted the resources available to families and emphasized the importance of prioritizing health and well-being. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the park, Marcus felt a wave of gratitude wash over him. This was the power of community. It was a reminder that even in challenging times, they could come together to uplift one another. After the fair, Marcus was bombarded with thank you messages and feedback from families. It warmed his heart to hear stories of families who had received vital health information or found a new exercise routine that invigorated their lives. It was evident that their efforts had sparked a flame of hope in the community. Over the next few weeks, the positive momentum continued. Inspired by their success, the Andersons and Marcus began discussing future initiatives. What about a mentoring program for teens? Emily suggested during one of their planning meetings. We could connect them with local leaders in different fields. I love that idea, Marcus replied, envisioning the impact it could have on young minds. We can help them explore career options, gain skills, and build confidence. Jason, who had joined the meeting, nodded enthusiastically. I'd love to be involved. There are so many kids who need guidance and support. I wish I had someone to help me navigate my future. The conversation shifted toward logistics, and soon they were drafting plans for the mentoring program, excitedly mapping out how to connect local businesses with eager teens. One day, as Marcus was cleaning up after a busy shift at Lily's Diner, he received a call from Emily. Marcus, we've had a huge breakthrough, she exclaimed, her voice bubbling with excitement. The local business owner has offered to sponsor our mentoring program. They want to invest in our community. Wow, that's incredible, Marcus replied, feeling a surge of inspiration. This is going to take our program to the next level. As they discussed the details, Marcus couldn't help but feel the momentum building. Their community was thriving, and it felt as though they were on the cusp of something extraordinary. The more they collaborated, the more they realized the power of unity and support. As the mentoring program took shape, the Andersons reached out to local schools and organizations to spread the word. They hosted informational sessions to recruit mentors and encouraged community members to share their skills and experiences. The response was overwhelming. People were eager to contribute, realizing the potential for change. One evening, Marcus sat in his living room, reviewing the progress they had made. He thought back to the journey that had begun with a single act of kindness, the meal he had offered to the Andersons. It was astonishing how far they had come, transforming lives and building bridges across their community. With a renewed sense of purpose, he decided to reach out to his own network, inviting friends and former coworkers to get involved. The next day, he called Jason and proposed an idea. What if we host a community meeting to discuss our mentoring program and invite everyone to share their thoughts? Jason was all in. Let's do it. I think a lot of people want to help, but they don't know how. This could be a great way to connect everyone. The meeting was set for the following Saturday, and Marcus spent the week buzzing with anticipation. As the day approached, he put together an agenda, ensuring everyone would have the opportunity to speak and contribute. On the day of the meeting, the community center buzzed with excitement. Families, friends, and local leaders arrived, eager to share their thoughts and ideas. Marcus stood at the front of the room, looking out at the crowd. He could see familiar faces, some who had attended the talent show and the health fair, all united by a common purpose. As he began the meeting, he felt a wave of emotion wash over him. Thank you all for being here today. What we're creating isn't just a mentoring program. It's a community that supports one another. Together, we can change lives. The room erupted into applause, and Marcus felt a rush of energy flow through him. Over the next hour, people shared their stories, their dreams, and their ideas for the mentoring program. The enthusiasm in the air was palpable as they brainstormed ways to reach out to local businesses, connect with schools, and ensure that every teen had access to mentorship. By the end of the meeting, Marcus was filled with hope and determination. The seeds of change they had planted were beginning to blossom into something beautiful. As he looked around the room, he felt a profound sense of gratitude for the journey they had embarked upon together. A journey that had begun with one simple act of kindness, but had grown into a powerful movement for change. The legacy of kindness. The excitement from the community meeting propelled Marcus and the Andersons into high gear. The mentoring program was rapidly gaining traction, with volunteers eager to offer their time and expertise. Over the following weeks, the group organized training sessions for mentors, ensuring they were equipped with the skills needed to connect with the teens effectively. As the program began to take shape, they also realized the importance of creating a supportive environment for the mentees. Marcus envisioned a kickoff event that would set the tone for what was to come, a day filled with inspiration, bonding, and excitement. They decided to host a Mentor-Mentee Day, where the participants could meet, share their aspirations, and build rapport. The weeks leading up to the event were a whirlwind of activity. Flyers were posted throughout the community, and word spread like wildfire. As the date approached, Marcus could feel the anticipation building. He reached out to local businesses for support, and they generously donated supplies, food, and even gift bags for the participants. On the morning of the Mentor-Mentee Day, the community center buzzed with energy. Bright banners adorned the walls, and tables filled with snacks and informational materials welcomed the guests. As Marcus' health set up, he felt a wave of nostalgia wash over him, recalling how this journey had started with a single meal shared in kindness. Families began arriving, and the atmosphere quickly transformed into one of celebration. Marcus greeted each attendee, introducing them to their mentors and encouraging conversations to flow freely. The air was filled with laughter and chatter as they shared their stories and dreams. Jason, who had taken on the role of a mentor himself, was buzzing with enthusiasm. "Hey, Marcus, I've been talking to some of the kids about their goals. I think we should organize a sports tournament next month to build camaraderie and teamwork." "That's a brilliant idea," Marcus replied, impressed by Jason's initiative. "Let's get started on the planning right away." As the event kicked off, Marcus took a moment to address the crowd. "Thank you all for being here today. What we're building together is more than just a mentoring program. It's a family. It's a place where everyone can thrive, learn, and grow." Cheers erupted from the crowd, and Marcus felt his heart swell with pride. Over the next few hours, various activities were organized: icebreakers, workshops, and team-building exercises. The interactions between mentors and mentees deepened as they explored shared interests and passions, forging connections that would last well beyond the day. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the center, Marcus gathered everyone together for a closing circle. "Before we wrap up, I want to invite everyone to share one takeaway from today, something you've learned or a goal you're excited to pursue." One by one, attendees spoke up, sharing their aspirations and the connections they had made. A shy girl named Mia stood up, her voice barely above a whisper. "I've always wanted to be an artist, but I never thought I could really do it. My mentor encouraged me to believe in myself, and I'm excited to start painting again." Tears pricked at Marcus's eyes as he listened to her share her dreams. The vulnerability and strength in that moment echoed throughout the room, a testament to the power of connection and encouragement. As the closing circle concluded, the atmosphere was charged with hope. They'd all exchanged contact information, ensuring the bonds they had created would continue to flourish. Marcus knew that this was just the beginning, and he couldn't wait to see how the program would evolve. In the following months, the mentoring program flourished. The community rallied around it, organizing events and workshops, and more local businesses came on board to support their initiatives. Jason's sports tournament became a highly anticipated event, drawing participants from all over the neighborhood. As Marcus immersed himself in this world of mentorship, he also found personal growth. He realized that by uplifting others, he was simultaneously uplifting himself. Each story shared, each connection made, filled him with a sense of purpose that had been missing from his life before. During one of the mentoring sessions, Marcus sat down with Jason and Mia. They discussed their future goals, and Marcus felt a sense of fulfillment as he guided them through their aspirations. "Remember, it's okay to dream big," he encouraged them. "You have the power to create the future you want." As the weeks turned into months, the community began to transform. Families grew closer, neighbors became friends, and the once divided community blossomed into a united front. The ripple effects of their initial kindness extended far and wide, and Marcus couldn't help but feel proud of what they had accomplished together. Then came a pivotal moment that would test the strength of their community. A devastating storm hit their town one weekend, causing severe damage and displacing several families. The news struck hard, and Marcus, along with the Andersons, quickly sprang into action. "We need to help," Emily said, her voice resolute. "We can't let our community suffer alone. Let's organize a relief effort." Marcus agreed wholeheartedly. They rallied the volunteers from the mentoring program, creating a network of support that would provide shelter, food, and clothing to those affected. Local businesses donated supplies, and the community came together to set up temporary shelters in the community center. As Marcus worked tirelessly alongside the volunteers, he witnessed the resilience of the people around him. They cooked meals, organized donation drives, and offered emotional support to families who had lost so much. The sense of unity was palpable, and Marcus felt a deep sense of pride in being part of such a compassionate community. One evening after a long day of organizing, Marcus sat down with Jason and Nia, who were both volunteering their time. "You two are doing an incredible job," he said, his heart swelling with pride. "Your willingness to help others speaks volumes about your character." Jason smiled, a glimmer of determination in his eyes. "I just want to give back, you know. If we can help even a little, it makes a difference." Mia nodded in agreement. "We've been given so much support. It feels right to help those who need it now." As they continued their work, Marcus realized that this was the legacy of kindness they had built together. It wasn't just about the events they organized. It was about fostering a culture of compassion and support that would endure through life's challenges. Weeks turned into months, and slowly but surely, the community began to recover from the storm. Families found temporary housing, and the mentoring program continued to thrive, offering stability and hope. Marcus watched as the relationships formed through mentorship blossomed into lifelong friendships, proving that the bonds they had created were unbreakable. As the year came to a close, Marcus reflected on the incredible journey they had embarked upon together. The diner, once just a place to work, had become a hub of connection and kindness. The Andersons, Jason, and Mia had all become a part of his extended family, and he felt grateful for the love and support that surrounded him. One chilly evening, Marcus stood outside the diner, gazing up at the stars. He could hardly believe how far they had come since that first dinner with the Andersons. It was a journey rooted in compassion, and it had transformed not just their lives, but the lives of countless others in the community. The diner's door swung open, and Emily emerged, wrapping her scarf tightly around her neck. "Hey, Marcus, ready to head home?" He smiled, turning to her. "Absolutely. I was just reflecting on everything that's happened this year." Emily nodded, her expression filled with warmth. "It's been a beautiful journey, hasn't it? I can't wait to see where we go from here." As they walked together, Marcus felt a renewed sense of purpose. Their community had been forged through kindness, and they were only just beginning to tap into its potential. With every meal shared, every mentor-mentee relationship formed, and every act of compassion, they were building a legacy that would continue to inspire others for generations to come. And he knew, without a doubt, that this was just the beginning of a much larger story, one that would forever remind him that the simplest acts of kindness could create ripples of change, transforming lives and uniting communities in the most beautiful ways.